All right, then, welcome back. And we have in studio, in our Abuja studio, Comrade Wale Badma, Southwest Coordinator of the Grand Alliance for Tinubu Shetima 2023. That's a campaign organization. It's against the backdrop of the APC chair, announcing yesterday that Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State had been appointed the APC Presidential Campaign. And in studio here, we have Comrade Ayodele Adewale. And what the two gentlemen have been doing is that they've been showing us or pointing out the merits of the choice of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because that's where the prerogative is. And he's made a hard choice, if you want, because it is my thinking that the easiest choice to make would have been what everybody's talking about now. I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian. However, there is no law about that. And this is where it's a tough one, it's a hard one, but Tinubu didn't shy away because of his conviction for this matter. Now, going about selling the ticket, the APC ticket, the Tinubu Shetima ticket to the people, and for this, what some people have referred to as a distraction, not to matter, no doubt Simon Lalong must have his work cut out for him.
Definitely, because we have a shortness of time, so I will try to extray the ability of these two men. One, Governor Lalong has a lot of goodwill among the governors. And his nature, he has a calm nature, and he has the ability to bring people to sit down, to listen and discuss.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, in all of the discussion, he always arrives at a workable point that everybody will agree on.
A consensus.
A consensus. If you look at his pattern of governance in Plateau State, you hardly hear any water being disturbed. Even when the opposition have issues and all of that, he knows how to talk to the people and carry them on. That is a very strong virtue that you will need in the DG, especially when you have dissenting voice or voices and people with different interests. I want to be very careful with words now. Different interests, and that their interests will be carried along. Someone that they can be rest assured that can become the equator for everybody. Now, for former Governor Adams Oshiomhole, remember that he was a labor leader. He has been in the labor movement all his life. And the larger population, the voting age of the Nigerian people are from the labor force. Regardless of whether there's a party using the labor appellage or what have you, he knows the language to speak to that set of interest. He knows how to bring them for the political advantage of the APC. And having walked the talk while he was governor of Edo State, those also will come into full swing. If you now look at the demography of different interest groupings in Nigeria, these two men have a lot to bring to the table, apart from the standard bearer that knows how to also use his goodwill to bring all interest on board.
Okay.
Now, putting all of these things together, I can assure you that Asiwaju Shetima administration is going to deliver on all their electoral promises. Indeed.
And Comrade Wale Badmus in our Abuja studio, maybe a final question for you. The internal, that is to say, high-ranking members of your party, and I think it needs to be said, it's not just, non-Muslims, that is to say Christians. There are some others that also think that strategically the choice could have been different. What do you think about that and the convenience of bringing everybody on board, which indeed must be the case if APC is going to be victorious?
APC as a party is an all-embracing party. It's a party that accommodates all interests. The issue of religion balancing and everything have been settled with the appointment of Governor Lalong as the DG of the campaign committee, which will bring everybody on board. Then the top-ranking members of the party, of course, disagreement is an inbuilt part of democracy. but we disagree to agree. Of course, being the largest party in Africa now, we are bound to have some dissenting opinion, but that is not to override the overall, to overshadow the overall interest of the party. The overall goal, the focus, the target before the party now is to consolidate on the gain of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, win the presidency come 2023 with the Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu Shettima ticket, advance Nigeria to the glorious stage, on global stage, eradicate insecurity, reduce reduce unemployment, solve the energy problem, resolve the academic impasse in tertiary institution, grant life more abundance to Nigeria. That is the preoccupation of our party now.
Comrade, those are the issues that you want people to concentrate on, not the faith of one or the other. Those are the very issues, and I agree with you, as has been said severally, that that is the way to go. I want to thank you very much, Comrade, for making time for us. Thank you very much for coming on from our Abuja studios. Okay, so we're leaving, the Abuja studios, and Comrade Wole Badmus, Southwest Coordinator of Grand Alliance for Tinubu Shettima 2023, GATS or GATS 2023. Mr. Festus Kayamo, SAN, of course, we haven't mentioned him, but then he's the spokesperson of, the council that has just been set up. So that's to one side. Now, the task, it's going to require, you were referring to back in 93, the Hope 93 ticket, and how it was, there were different aspects to it. Abiola's running mate at the time, he was a diplomat. He brought that to it. Abiola was what he was. He was the person who gathered everybody together. Now, this time, there's a similarity in the sense that Ashwaju is the global figure. That's the guy whose name resounds around the world. He has the international presence. Now, Shettima coming in is a technocrat, but the fact that senior members of your party, who ordinarily cannot be ignored, are, still reluctant to come on board, and yet they must. It has to be done so that they willingly come on board. That's going to take some doing, right?
Definitely, it will take a lot of discussion in order to assure people that their whims and caprices will be taken very seriously.
So every aspect, every aspect. Nobody will be left behind.
No. Everybody is needed. One vote matter.
Sorry to interrupt you, comrade. Let me take Mr. Yakub. In fact, Yakub himself is a comrade. Good morning, Comrade Yakub.
Good morning, sir. And then good morning to Comrade Ayodele.
Good morning, Mr.
Hello,
Yakub.
can you hear me, sir? Hello? Hello, Chief Jody, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Chief Jody, let me begin by saying this. This 2023 election is going to be based on some certain things. One, let's look at the individual that want to contest for this presidency in person of Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's look what he has been able to do when he was the first governor of Lagos State. You see, the Christian or Muslim ticket, I think Nigeria should move beyond all these things. You know why am I saying that? In my own personal family, as a Muslim, I have a lot of sisters that is Christian. So what are you not telling me that I should jettison them, or they are not part of my member, or they are not within my family? But what really happened is this: we need a good governance. In Lagos State here, look at the cabinet of Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was a governor of Lagos State. I can make mention like 4 or 5 commissioners in Lagos State that is Christian. And then this is a person I'm trying to be corrected in this country, a political figure that is what remains pastor up to today, up to tomorrow. I've never seen any political leader like that in this country that will allow his wife to remain a pastor when he was a Muslim. let me say this, sir. We do respect to my Christian fellow. You see, in Southwest today, apart from the governor of Osun State that is outgoing, if he does not win the election back from the court, it is only remain Muslim governor in the all of the South, including the South, Southeast, and other South. So what are we talking about?
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Yakub. I've got to make room for other people as well. Appreciate your comments here. Appreciate your contribution to the issue. That is what people have been saying from day one. I was making the perhaps simplistic example of since when did patients begin to ask the religion of their doctors? You need an expert surgeon. Since when did will his religion become a deal breaker? Same thing with a pilot and anybody else who has a complicated assignment. You look for the competency. Now, this idea, however, is what has to be floated. Because it's like people know logically, but then when it comes to faith, I said it earlier, leave logic out of it. When it comes to faith, it's a matter of conviction. And how some people have now brought politics and brought it into this whole, so you now have a religio-political conundrum. They're going to have to sort it out. But it can be done. Definitely. There's no task that's impossible if you bring the right man to the job. And in that sense, Simon Lalong, who is highly spoken of by the chairman and by you two gentlemen here, if there's anybody up to the task, he is.
Definitely. You should not be amazed. Things like that are meant to happen. It's like a boxing match, and you're fighting your opponent, and you throw a blow, and that blow actually is creating reaction. Definitely, you keep targeting on that area. But as a very experienced politician like Asiwaju is, and the party has a lot of them, we would not look at that distraction. We will stay glued to putting our programs forward. And as God has given to us now, we are the ruling party. So we'll keep on walking the talk, walking the program to make sure that we solve all of these national questions.
Okay. Mr. Danjuma in Jos, good morning to you, sir.
Hi, morning.
Fine morning to you. Please go ahead.
The PDP has nothing to tell Nigeria. What? Hi, morning. The PDP has nothing to tell Nigeria. All this problem that we are in now is then that they are the foundation of the problem. If we talk about electricity, they are the one that showed it. And the way they put everyone in the pit, that's to come up from inside the pit. That is the problem we are facing. And when instead of them to do campaign, to tell Nigeria what to do, they are still using the Muslims as their own campaign to cause war. And if the war comes, everybody will be running scatter and scatter. The Boko Haram did not know whether you are a Muslim or a Christian. The Boko Haram kill Muslims, he kill Christians, he kill whoever come across them. Then if you talk in terms of selling property to themselves, it's then that most of this problem that we are facing. In now Nigeria now, we are beyond that. We instead of us to think of who to bring us across in the distance, to come us from inside the pit, they still want us to still remain in that pit. All their children are still abroad. Is this as well as they call it Muslims? It's a Catholic man who are married a deeper life woman. A Catholic, he cannot go and marry a deeper life woman. This is Asiwaju is a Muslim. If Asiwaju is coming to turn Nigeria to Muslim, why you go marry Christians? Oh. People are using that language to say Setima is from Borno State. They believe that Setima, you have about almost 5 states. Look at their language in Latvian. Look at their language in Bauchi. They are in part of Kanu. They are in part of this. If they know they have already lose already. That is why they are using, instead of them, we are using pastor with Buhari. If Azumi Buhari dies, before winning election, there will be many people that will go to his grave and worship Buhari. That is Buhari that will come out there for problems. If we have Pastor Zibanjo, who is the helper to this person? Where are we now? When
all right.
We talk about security,
indeed,
the security that conquer the whole state, the whole local government. almost 17 local governments is in the hand of Boko Haram by then.
Okay, then.
And
So thank you very much, Danjuma. I'm going to have to come in just to give room to other people whom I want to call in as well. But I want to thank you very much, Mr. Danjuma, who called in from Jos. Exactly as he says, the objective is to win the election. There are so many parameters that have to be taken into consideration, some of which he mentioned. But the larger one is that, and I hope I don't rattle too many people, especially church leaders, when I say that, they are coming, it's from the church that you are, if the church was not lending their voice to this whole conversation, did I call it a debate, then it might not be as contentious as it is. But, well, it is their prerogative, it is their right to speak, and they do so speak. And I don't know the extent to which it is muddying the waters, but it all is coming back on the head of Simon Lalong as the DG, but not him alone, including Tinubu himself and Shetima himself. All of them, in fact, all APC. Everybody is a foot soldier in this particular campaign. And I imagine you also would be thinking that even those that are APC, loyal APC people, but still do not see eye to eye with the mainstream, even they themselves have to come along.
You see, what the church have only done is to advise. The church has not come that they want to take part in it. It's just an advice. And the advice...
But it's very influential.
well, it's an advice.
It still is that.
No. When some advice comes in and they give you room for reply,
okay,
right, and you reply, and you let them understand the reason why you are taking this step, then they also take it in and embrace the issue.
So it's going to be about engagement, is what you're saying. It's going to be about engagement. Let me bring in Mazi Okoroafo. Good morning to you, sir, in Arochukwu there.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, I guess.
Good morning.
When we talk about Lalong as the lead, as the campaign man, he has the voice. He can talk. But good morning, sir. Good morning, I guess. Now, when we talk about Lalong, at least he has the voice and he has the strength. Because you cannot bring somebody who cannot talk well. At least when he's talking, you will hear very clearly. So, Nigerian issue, whether Muslim or no Muslim, that one, to me, has nothing to do. Because when we look at, we should be talking about the track record of anybody coming on board. Nobody has the track record. Like I used to say with Aseluko, if all the states in Nigeria, all the governors presently, they balance the religion in terms of their commissioners, I think all this issue of Muslim, Christian, it will not come up. It's just that our sense of reasoning and our approach to issues, it is the high time for Nigerian governors in all the states to balance their executive council, carry all the religion, all the tribes in Nigeria when they are training any government. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. After all said and done, we must remember that Nigeria is a secular state. It doesn't matter that. The people have comments on that. Vis-a-vis, the Constitution is one thing. When you see what's going on, none of this is unfixable, whatever the issues are. And the Tinubu Shetima ticket, I think but we've been hearing about it. They have all these laudable programs that they have said, this is what we want to work on. It just so happens that there is this conversation ongoing now that diffuses it. And it is not doing so based on logic. It's doing so based on a psychological aspect, which can be quite problematic. But nobody is saying that we don't want an improved economy. Nobody is saying that we don't want, all the things that Tinubu has enumerated. We need all of those things. Surely, what is now left is, are we now going to say that, but if there's any other faith, a person of any other faith, trying to deliver that one to me, then I have an issue with it. So these are the problems.
Well, I will only take it from two angles. APC have decided to act like that, like the eagle. That is a very important signature in our crest. And we are moving above the height in which the opposition have been throwing pebbles in order to deliver our programs. The second angle is to look at the Indian society, the India society. Now, they have a lot of religion.
Exactly.
They have two dominant ones. And in all of their politicking, they've not allowed religion to hold them down, right?
So we can borrow a leaf
we can borrow from
that,
them.
you know.
Because if you
Because
want to open
we're
this
running out of
religious
time.
vista, you have a lot of atheists in Nigeria. You have
Exactly.
African religious people
Yes.
in Nigeria.
Yes.
And I can tell you they're in large number.
Oh.
So if they come together and say, oh, our own
Is not represented.
is not represented, what do we do? Are you going to shut them out?
Indeed, the point has been made very, strongly, Comrade. Thank you very much for coming on, Comrade Ayodele Adewale, APC Organizing Secretary, Lagos State Chapter. And thanks also to our guest in Abuja studio that joined us earlier,